First, we're talking about Keir Starmer, whether he should listen to Donald Trump and use the military to stop the Channel migrants. What do you think? 020-7862-2222 is the number. It was a headline-grabbing moment from the state visit where Trump yesterday challenged Starmer to have armed forces on the border, just as he has done in the USA.
You have people coming in, and I told the Prime Minister I would stop it, and it doesn't matter if you call out the military, it doesn't matter what means you use, but it's going to destroys countries from within. And we're actually now removing a lot of the people that came into our country. We have to remove them. And we are removing them. We have no choice. And I feel very strongly about it.
Ministers have previously said defence assets, as they call them, are not intended or necessarily suitable for border security, which lies with the Home Office. But with around 31,000 people arriving in small boats so far this year, a record for this point of the year, is this what we need to do, Faziza? Just bring in the army and put them on the beaches?
Absolutely not. I'm just so fed up of this conversation, to be honest. I think the vast majority of us understand that the problems in this country are not caused by the 45,000, 50,000 odd people coming across, vulnerable people coming across on small boats. Most of us understand that the problem sits somewhere else, probably the 200,000 or 300,000 people who are the very richest, who are not paying their fair share of taxes. And, you know, just hearing him there say about how immigration destroys a country from within. This country has a history of immigration.
But illegal, he's talking about.
Well, I mean, the thing is what is illegal immigration? People are coming on asylum, and these things,
when you see it, right?
And these things are being confused on purpose. This is part of a ploy to divide us. And absolutely, we need to manage migration properly, and we need to manage what is happening in terms of these people taking these risks and why they're taking those risks.
OK, just before I go to Russ, during the press conference, Starmer defended Labour's plans, including the new one-in, one-out deal with France. The first person onto this deal was an Indian national who'd come in on a small boat, was deported under the scheme yesterday, and there was also then a second removal that took place this morning after the High Court gave the go-ahead. The Home Office has, however, been temporarily blocked from returning an Eritrean who claimed to be a modern slavery victim. And this is what Starmer said about the government's approach.
We have had a record number of returns, over 35,000 now, since we came into office. That's the highest number for the best part of 10 years. We struck the returns arrangement with France, and notwithstanding the challenges to that scheme, which you've seen in the last few days, a flight went off at 6:15 this morning, successfully returning someone under that scheme. Very important that we have been able to prove that the proof of concept, if you like, that this can be done, and will continue in that way.
There we are. Gosh, it kind of went into the sand at the end there a bit, didn't it? What do you think?
Well, I don't think it went well, that bit of the press conference for him. A lot of people feel, I think, Jeremy, that there are two issues in this country that are critical. One is small boats, and the other is the economy. We're talking about the small boats. I've seen no reason, as this problem has gone on and on and on and got worse and worse and worse, and for the Prime Minister to stand there and say 35,000 have returned under my watch, but 31,000, as you quite rightly pointed out, have come in this calendar year alone. So really, we're not in any better space. I just think it's slightly disingenuous. And I would have loved to have known what Donald Trump was thinking when he talked about we sent somebody back today. And that then allows...
one person.
You know...
So what about the military?
Yeah. The military, I think, definitely need to be involved.
What do they do? Because the military don't... I've seen issues where military have been brought in for sort of civil disobedience. And the thing is, soldiers are supposed to shoot people, and it doesn't... they're not necessarily good at policing.
No. Well, maybe that's an aspect that they should be able to do.
What, shoot
Nobody's
people who
talking
appear?
About shooting people in boats.
Well, what else are soldiers going to do on the beaches? That's my question, really, because they're not police officers.
I think the idea is that you probably would intercept the boats in the English Channel.
I see.
And say, I'm afraid, no go.
But what about that, Faziza? Just say, these are British waters, you can't come in.
It's just, again, I mean, it's Trump infecting this debate. Is just really frustrating. Of course, the military, this is not their job. I'm sure they don't want to be doing this kind of thing, and we have to manage the border, of course, and we have to give people opportunities to apply in a way that means that they don't come across.
This is the US-Mexican border. Now, where the argument maybe runs more in Russ's favour here is that Trump said we're going to stop border crossings. Nobody thought he could. He sent basically half the army down there, and they pretty much stopped.
Yeah, Trump
pretty much stopped.
Trump has also got people, ICE agents picking up immigrants, anyone that looks like an immigrant, terrorising people on the streets. And this is a land border. It is a different thing to deal with as opposed to...
That is fair, yes.
But I thought a sea border was supposed to be more secure.
Well, it should be.
This is the bizarre thing about this country.
Well, that's why there's actually quite small numbers coming across compared to what would come across on a land border.
Small numbers when you add them up over when it first started under Tony Blair and got more and more and more under the Tories.
But let's ask the question.
They're not small numbers.
Do you know who's not on there? Ukrainians aren't on there. And guess why Ukrainians aren't on there? Because there's other ways in which they can apply and come. Yes. There's so many Afghans and Iraqis coming, as if we've had nothing to do with the destruction of their countries.
And Eritreans and Albanians. You know.
Okay,
if you look at the immigration figures, very quickly,
Yeah.
saw a chart yesterday, people can check it out. It's the non-European immigrants that is absolutely huge.
Well, why are they coming? They're coming to work in our care sector. I mean, we're talking about them coming with visas, right? They're coming to work in our care sector. They're coming to work in our NHS.
No, we're not talking. We're talking about illegal migrants. That was what the chart was.
Disorderly or whatever. Exactly. Okay, Charlotte in County Durham. Hi to you. Do you think he's right that we should just send the army to patrol the beaches?
Well, I'm glad that Donald Trump has finally caught up with me, because I've been saying this for years, that we should have the military. Actually, they're coming via the sea, so that's not a job for the army, that's a job for the Navy. Yes, I've been saying for ages now, way before Trump was even president for his first term But
is it the Navy, again, the Navy is a fighting force. You're not going to be fighting these people, are you?
We're being invaded, so the logical response to an invasion is to put the military out there.
Faziza objects to that word.
No, I do, because I think that kind of word makes it seem like there's a lot more people that are coming than they actually are. And, it's just so obvious to me and many others that this debate that they keep pushing, this point about small boats, when it isn't a huge number. Again, I recognise it needs to be managed better, but why are we fixated on this so much? Like, if Starmer paid this much attention to child poverty, we would actually be able to reduce levels of child poverty in this country.
I think, isn't there a symbolic thing, which is that if you live in Epping, you can't afford to stay in a hotel, but your taxes will pay towards migrants staying in it free of charge. It's something people sort of mind about that.
And who's the villain here, right? Yes, we haven't built enough housing. That's absolutely true. When you look at who's making money from hotels, right? There's Clear Springs, this company that's making huge money, a man making huge money, sending that money to Dubai and hiding his taxpayers' money. I mean, we absolutely should take control of hotels and how much they're costing, but don't forget that it's not asylum seekers making money. It's to be rich individuals.
But I'm just saying that's why it may go out of all proportion. People get upset about it. Thank you, Charlotte. After the break, we're taking more of your calls on this. Should Starmer... Let's have some more calls on whether Starmer should listen to Trump and just use the military to stop the boats, because clearly people are so cross. John in London, hello.
Hello, Jeremy.
Hello.
Sending the military? What military? Our armed forces would find it hard to defend the Isle of Wight. It's so small now.
Well, they got 60,000 odd. Well, yeah, I mean, it's true, you couldn't fill Wembley Stadium, but we've got enough, surely, to patrol Dover and 2 or 3 other beaches.
It's ridiculous. Why should you?
Why?
I mean, what we should do, it's not me, do whatever Trump says, because he is a statesman. And he's done what he said.
Well, this is what he said. Yeah, well, he did stop them. Yeah, but then again, the army, if you use the army full time to patrol the border, you essentially haven't got an army anymore. You've just got a very big border force.
Yeah, that's all it is. I mean, it's so ridiculous the way these things are planned out. I mean, he had the right idea. He used his forces. We haven't got the forces to do it.
OK, John, thank you. Thank you so much. My phone made a noise. Annie in Hampshire, hello. What would you like to say, Annie?
Hello. Can I just say, first of all, Des, I love your shirt.
Bless you. Thank you. I've worn this before, but I think it's got snakes on it. What else would you like to say?
It does. Do you know what? My husband would love that. Absolutely love it.
Lovely.
Sorry. So basically, I think it's a good idea. Bit divided on the opinion. I think obviously we have a lot of migrants in the country in hospitals, etc. That's good, you know, and they do a great job for the country. But there's too many coming in.
So how would let's say Army on the beach, Navy in the sea? What would they do?
Yeah.
This is the key. You see a dinghy coming. It's got 34 people on it. Some of them are small kids. What do you do?
Well, the other question is, what don't you do? Do you know what I mean?
No. That's not correct. I'm asking, what do you do, Annie?
Well, exactly that. Get the military and the Navy, sort it out. It's getting to a point where it's getting ridiculous.
Let's say you're the command, you're the Joint Chiefs of Staff leader for all the military, and you've got the Navy guy in there, and you say, right, this is what I want you to do. When you see the dinghy, go on. What do you say?
Safely help them to go back where they came from.
Help them to go back. There we are, and that's polite. Faziza?
Well, I mean, I think the thing is that the cost of that, I mean, putting aside the moral issues I have with it, but it's impractical because actually the amount of boats, Navy boats that it would take, the amount of personnel it would take, and it would come at huge cost. And a cost to what? To other public services that we really need. We already know that the NHS is in huge trouble, that schools are in huge trouble.
Too expensive.
So it's going to be huge expensive, even putting aside the moral. And I just want to say it's interesting to hear so many callers say we should take this seriously. And I've spent a lot of time knocking on doors, and I think a lot of people out there think that this problem and the number of people coming in is much bigger than it really is. Like on the doorstep, one woman told me it was 100,000 in a week, and it's nowhere near that.
All right, but it's a lot. Annie in Hampshire, thanks. Ezra in Glamorgan, what do you say?
Good morning, Jeremy. I hope you're all well.
Thank you.
So I'm going to say the quiet part out loud. I think people who are all for this basically want migrants to be dragged back to the beaches of France. Now, I don't know if people are aware of what that would actually entail, but that could very easily be lensed by the French Republic as an act of aggression against the French Republic.
Well, you wouldn't. I don't know how we would land on the shores of France without their permission. That's true.
I know that.
And that is, Russ, that's a serious problem. Well, once they've left France, we can't send them back to France.
No.
Without France's permission.
One in, one out we can.
No, but come on, that's going to take 100 years.
But the French pick the one who's coming back over, by the way, and dictate the criteria. I think what the British people, and I understand what Ezra is saying, what the British people would like to know, and the government should be asking this question, £480 million a year paid to France to try and sort this problem out. Well, it's not sorted at all. Yeah, but again, so we want our money back.
But that's not a solution. No one will give us a solution.
We don't have the resources either, Jeremy.
Well, the Rwanda thing might have worked. I don't know. Ezri, thank you. Dee in Londonderry, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, definitely not. That's not what the military's there for. It's not what the Navy's there for. What we'd end up doing is, if you sent the Navy ships out, the boats with the immigrants on it would be there. As soon as we tried to maybe turn them around, they'd end up in the sea. Yep. We'd end up having to rescue them.
And you're ex-Navy, Dee, are you?
I am, yes.
OK, so there's no way of just giving it a gentle push or anything like that?
Definitely not. And I think you'd find it hard to get a sailor to actually do something like that.
But also, my understanding would be, if you're in the Royal Navy and you're on a ship and you see a dinghy overturn in the Channel and it has 30 people on, you have to rescue them. You don't have the option. And
yeah, we do.
As a human being, you wouldn't want to leave them there. So
definitely not.
So
I
just don't see what. So what is the solution here, Dee?
The only way I can possibly think about it is we're paying France all this money. If we did then rescue the people and were able to transfer them onto a French vessel, and the French then returned them back to that side of the water.
Yeah, but the French don't want them. I mean, this is the thing. They're obviously waving them through towards us. You've got to feel sorry for all the individuals. I'm not in any way minimising that. Of course, they've been on terrible journeys and so on.
Just taking that point really seriously on people coming here and offending or having a history of
offending. And that was a real case he mentioned. We've just checked it, yeah.
Yeah, so of course we need to make sure that we are checking people, and one of the easiest ways to do that is to try and get them to apply it on the other side before they come here.
You can't check with Iraq. You can't check with Iran. You can't check with Afghanistan. They haven't got...
But the problem is that the vast majority of people that come that are given status, and I know some people that have had this, and I know people with kids that have come, and these are normal, law-abiding people, and you have to be really careful. This is exactly how prejudice works. You take one case or a selection of a minority of cases, and you cast aspersion on everyone.
All right, Wayne is in Cheshire. Hi, Wayne.
Good morning, everyone.
Thanks. Is Trump right about this? You just put the army on the beach.
I think going around in circles discussing the military, etc. My theory is, which no one's talked about, is I would seriously ask Europe to ban the manufacture of these dinghies. They all look very similar, and then we would reimburse the companies for 12 months. Because you look at all the boats and type of dinghies, they're all the same. If they didn't have the dinghies, they couldn't come.
But aren't there enough dinghies in circulation now where you'd have a second-hand dinghy market?
Well, I think the best way to rather than the French police trying to stop them on the beach, now surely that these are getting driven around, is just to take them off the streets and look for the dinghies being transferred.
All right, thank you, Wayne. Good point. David in Shropshire, hi.
Hi, Jeremy. Hi, everybody.
Is Trump right? Or is Trump's talking about a land border? We've got a sea border, which turns out to be harder to patrol.
Well, I mean, if it's the only way to stop all these people coming, then yes. I mean, look, where are we going to keep on putting all these people? I mean, have we got to keep on destroying more and more of our environment for all kinds of development? I mean, we're told that we need millions of houses. Well, where are they all going to go? I mean, there are thousands and thousands of our own people that can't get housing. How about looking after them first?
But, OK, David, thank you. Is there a danger, Russ, that we sound cruel here? Selfish?
Would you connect that back to Donald Trump then?
Don't know. I mean, I just think in a way we're talking about our people, and maybe the world's people are our people.
I think people, to go back to Trump on this subject and him suggesting the military, I think there's a lot of people who like Donald Trump and think he's talking my kind of language. Why can't our government do it? But I also think there's probably a significant amount of people who are not fans of Donald Trump, but they're looking at some of the things he's doing in America and going, well, I don't like him very much, but we could do with some of that over here.
Okay.